Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, where today I've had a little bit of a walk around since last episode and realized that my instinct was right. The bar is in the living quarters building. It's just you don't have a button to go there and interact or anything. I'm so used to this static text. There's so much static text in the game and so many repeated blocks of text when you talk to people all the time, that I don't always read the blocks. And there are lots of opportunities, or there are lots of times when we have spoken to somebody and I've noticed that their text has changed, but I've just skimmed it quickly and it wasn't really anything new, and so I just haven't, something for y'all to read if you're really interested. But yeah, the text here in the living quarters makes it clear that in fact Rex's new bar and dance floor are very popular. During the day, the bar serves up hot blep tea and other fortifying concoctions, and at night, Rex slings mulled cider, squeeger mead, berry gin, and mushroom wine. It's a real testament to humanity's fascination with getting absolutely twisted. I realized something also while I was mousing over this. We are not always getting to forget memories when we... No, wait, we are. Are we? What I was about to say is, I think we're not always getting to forget memories when we rest in the park because of the other stuff that we get to the animal events. But no, that's not true. We totally have been forgetting cards. Yeah, so should we go rest in the park? Should we just rest here? I'm kind of curious if there are events with the bar. I'm gonna risk potentially missing further upgrades on our pets. They may be at max level. 3 is a very standard max level for a thing in a video game. It's very often on the 3s and 5s. But I'm kind of curious if there are events with the bar. So let's just go ahead and relax in the lounge here and see if anything cool happens. Yeah, okay, we get stuff. Nomi is performing a play on stage in Rex's new bar tonight. It's a theater production of one of their favorite episodes of Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform. I don't know that we need a theater production of... Okay, that's fine. I shouldn't rain on their parade. They ask you sweetly if you wouldn't mind helping out. Mars is helping too, they say. She's not even bossing me around. Beside Nomi, Mars rolls her eyes good-naturedly. So you can act with 50 persuasion. You can sell tickets with 50 organizing. What I have is creativity. All of a sudden, I have all this fresh creativity. Let's put it to use and get some more. Being on stage gives you the heebie-jeebies, but you're good with your hands. You make wearable airplane wings out of pieces of scrap sheet metal. It's a trick to make them large enough to be believable, but not so large that the actor falls or knocks the stage over. Nomi plays the lead, Dr. Lavendula Starlifter, who, despite being only 15 years old, has degrees in aeronautics, electrical engineering, and meteorology, making her basically totally mid-level student for anime. The anime characters in Japanese media in general, they get so accomplished so fast, and then they never age. You get to 17 and you just stop. Her secret alter ego is Starlifter Supreme, leader of the Turbojet Girls and defender of all humankind. Nomi puts on a great show. Everyone laughs and has a good time, and Rex keeps the drinks flowing. Everyone's impressed by Nomi's creativity and vision. They give you a big hug backstage. Well, if they like this, wait until they get a load of my Hollow novel. Okay, do I want to forget a blue 3? I'm not sure that I do, honestly. We have a lot of blue 3s. Maybe too many. Maybe too many. Because we don't actually have that many 4s and 5s. It's not actually that easy to link out of the 3s into a straight. So yeah, I am gonna drop one. Okay, yes, that's cool. And with that, I guess we're going to keep giving Rex mushwood logs unless we can find out something else that he likes. I mean, I would kind of prefer to hold on to the mushwood logs for myself because they are the most broadly powerful thing. Hugs incoming, obviously. Yeah, you can you can really get your friendship with Rex up very quickly. I got you a present. Have we tried giving you a strange device before? No, no. Rex shakes his head with a smile and gently puts the gift back in your hands. I have everything I need, for real. This place is great. 3 squares and all the hugs I could ever need. But I'll tell you what, he says, leaning in. My birthday's in the first month of pollen, and I'd love a cake if you know how to make one. Well, I certainly know how to make the printer spit one out. Okay, so that was not him turning down the strange device. It was him just saying he doesn't need gifts in general anymore. All right, Mars, I can still give you a flower. Oh, more event with Mars. Did we hit an important threshold with Mars? Okay, we hit a multiple of 10. Mars and Nomi are bent over one of Nomi's sketchbooks. Mars is talking animatedly with expansive hand gestures. Nomi is nodding along and taking notes. No, 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 Mars exclaims. This neckline needs bolder lines, and down here lots and lots of extra fabric. And make this part gold. I wanted to scream, I don't have to work like everybody else. I'm only here to look beautiful and have people adore me. But we do have to work, Nomi pouts. Nanoprinting's restricted for these kinds of materials. It costs kudos. Mars rolls her eyes. That's the point. Nomi huffs. Not everyone got as many kudos as you, Marzipan. Especially us Helios. We didn't have any at all when we landed. If we want to wear something other than uniforms, I usually trade or mod old clothes instead of printing new ones. Mars looks appalled. You trade clothes? You don't even sell them to each other for kudos? Nomi shrugs and tucks their hair behind their ear. Well, it's just, some kids can't afford to print this kind of clothing, right? So you're losing out on them as potential customers. So maybe instead you could design clothes that are pretty, but also made from common materials? So everybody can have them? Nomi smiles brightly. Then maybe when you're in charge, we can get rid of kudos entirely. It doesn't seem right that we trade kudos for extra stuff when we're all only supposed to have what we need anyway. Nomi packs up their sketchbook and leaves, and Mars turns to you with a thoughtful look. Oh, Nomi doesn't know that I was the one who started selling things for kudos in the first place. My dad keeps saying I shouldn't do that, because hoarding kudos and treating them like currency will cause, she makes quotation marks in the air with her fingers, wealth inequality. You think they might be right? Well, I mean, yeah, it's already happened. The Helios are broke. Oh, Mars says, tapping her chin. I mean, I knew the Helios were tragic, but I just thought they had terrible taste. You know, the uniforms, the haircuts. I didn't know it was because they were poor. I really don't think the kudos make everything unequal, Mars continues. Like, you can always work harder if you want something nice, right? That's what I do. Mars looks genuinely troubled. It's great that we have everything we need. Well, as long as there's not a weird disease or a famine or whatever. But we're still poor, you know? She sighs. We're poor in culture. Like, yes, every colonist has a steaming pile of mashed tripe every morning, noon, and night. But what if I want to watch a holovid I haven't seen a million cajillion times? Mars puts her hands on her head. When we only focus on survival, who's making the holovids? And the symphonies? And the gourmet food? She throws her arms in the air and shouts, We have everything we need, but we're poor. Poor people don't care about art. Okay. Mars snaps her fingers. No, I've got it. I'm a genius. If the adults won't incentivize the creative class, we need to do it ourselves. We need to get the adults on board with adopting kudos and using it to pay for luxury goods. And instead of slaving away in the depot or the kitchen, people like Nomi could be artisans. She grabs you by the shoulders. If we have an actual creative class, maybe we can get some culture on this stupid rock. Okay, I mean, her heart's in the right place. I think she's reproducing an old problem here, but I can't believe I never thought of it before. she says, clearly possessed with a beautiful vision. I'm the richest teenager in the colony, but what good is it if there's nothing to buy? Here I am, sitting on more kudos than I could ever use, and I could have been using it to kickstart the creative economy. I could be a patron of the arts. Mars releases you and pulls up the finances screen of her hollow palm. You catch a glimpse of her balance, which is more kudos than you've ever made in a year, at least. Yeah, good, Mars says, thinking out loud. More than enough to start. She looks at you. Well, Sowen, she says, imperiously. You'll join me, right? Let's give away some kudos. I don't have a lot. Here's 10. Mars nods as you transfer 10 kudos into her account. Well, it's not much, but it's a start. I would have given you more. I've actually been spending a lot lately. You have been producing goods of a higher caliber than you used to. All right, let's go earn ourselves a perk. Because we got to be like, yeah, we're at 61 now. So 1 month's work here will get us where we're going. Let's study those humanities as hard as we can. It's time for your end-of-term humanities project. You, Tange, and Mars are all very excited to finish this project, showing everything you've learned in the subject so far. Congruence helps you come up with your project idea. Pretend you're students 500 years from now, and you're learning about the first colony on Vertumna. What sources of information would you be reading, watching, or listening to in order to learn about life back then? Create one of these artifacts for future students of the humanities. We should write a textbook, Tange says during your brainstorming session. The more we show we've learned, the more likely we'll pass the class. All we have to do is make sure everything is in there and we're done. Mars rolls her eyes. That's so boring, Tange, she whines, putting her head on Tange's shoulder. Who wants to write the literal book? We should do something funny and stylish. Like, oh, we can make a music video. Tange looks horrified. We are not making a music video, she says, grimacing. Surely we can meet somewhere in the middle. Like a music textbook. Okay, Mars says. Let's be serious here. Tange is right. We have to do something that proves we learned everything about this subject that's worth knowing. Mars is right too, Tange admits. There's no shame in relying on her charisma. You mean my good looks? Mars asks, flipping her hair over her shoulder. Tange looks down at her hollow palm and smiles. In the end, you agree to record a news segment about the colony's war on nature. What spin are you giving your news report? Absolutely down with war, right? This is a non-zero. Down with war and just the facts are the same fucking video, in my opinion. All right, so it's a hard creativity challenge. Any card with a gem in it is wild, is suit wild, not value wild. Okay. That's pretty cool. We didn't actually draw anything anything that would make that relevant, sadly. We can just do like an unexciting straight here to take advantage of our Vriki. I guess I want to use this 3 because I'm going to use this 4 anyway. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a bummer to play blues out of our hand when we have releasing endorphins left, but I can't actually make a 2, 3, 4 out of reds, so. Okay. Embarrassing Lesson is a pretty good card. So we'll have to influence a card into being a 6. How many? I have 3 Xeno eggs. I really wish Tangent's Focus had a base value of 6. We have so many red 5s. Maybe this is a good time to just like play a bunch of red cards. And then, I don't know, like, I would love to play this next to the Bounce Weasels, if only it wasn't unchangeable. I mean, I guess we can just play the Tangent's Focus. I don't love losing the... I mean, it's not really the middle card of a straight anyway, because releasing endorphins is always going to be more than a 6. Okay. So we really just, like, can't find gems to save our life here. They want me to make 50? 50's tough. 50 is not realistic. So right now, this is an 8. It'll be a 9 if we play this. So what we could do here... I mean, I could just bump stuff, right? We have more than enough consumables to just make this. I mean, I could just cut the 5, right? Pull this over to here to make a 4 of a kind on that, and then play Cal's strength and establish the straight higher up. And that's a win by itself. I think I'll just take that win. That's fine. A little bit of a creativity challenge. All right. A couple of free points before our normal payout for the month. Oh, wow. That is a good card. You, Tange, and Mars pour everything you have into your final project. And it's a hit. You even post it on the colony message board and get tons of comments and even a few kudos. It's gratifying to know that something you've written is being enjoyed by the people you love. Is this why Old Earth poets wrote so much? Well, I think it's mostly because they were really horny or really scared or both. Ooh, increased rewards for studying humanities. Nice. Congruence's hollow projection smiles at you. Congratulations, you three. As an Earth poet once said, if you don't know where you've come from, you don't know where you're going. She invites you to come audit the class whenever you'd like. We finished the humanities storyline. And we gained a reasoning. That's cool. What is our creativity perk? Okay. That's not going to be that valuable this late in the game. That would have been a really good thing to get early. Okay. Let's run around and once again just make sure nobody has any bubbles for us. Oh, you know what? I don't think I've given Nem a gift this season. Nem, egg. Nem, egg. Egg for Nem. Most of our friends are past the point of gifts. Hey, Dis has something. This evening, when Dis isn't in his quarters or his usual spot near the expedition vehicles, you have a sixth sense of where to find him. His old secret hideout, in the big drainage pipe under the wall, where he still goes sometimes when he needs to escape and be alone. Sure enough, there he is at the entrance of the pipe, but something's wrong. He's fiddling with a package furtively. His head jerks up as you approach, and he clutches it to his chest. You can barely believe your eyes, but you know a bomb when you see one. Dis, what are you doing? Dis stares at you for a few moments, weighing the truth. I'm leaving, he says eventually. Noctilucent made me a deal. Sabotage the colony during the next attack, and they'll let me become a gardener. Don't get in my way, Samhain, Dis says. I don't want to have to hurt you. Dis, you love me. You are not going to hurt me. Dis looks stunned, but shakes his head. It's not about you, Samhain, he says. I'm going to do this. Except for you, there's nothing for me here. You're the only thing that makes me feel, well... He looks down at the package in his hands and sighs. Human. Okay, look, nobody has to know, buddy. Just give me the bomb, and it can be like this did not almost happen. Dis clutches the explosives to his chest tightly and lets out one shuddering sigh. Okay, he says, finally. Okay, I just... He shakes his head and hands it over to you. Take it, he says, before I change my mind. Jesus, okay. You dispose of the deadly package and thank all the gods from all the religions you can name that you were here tonight to stop this. Yeah, that would have had some very long-term repercussions, I have to imagine. Not very long-term, very serious long-term repercussions. Especially given how how het up the Helios already are to wipe out all alien life on the planet. I'm glad I ran around and looked for things to. I wonder if passing that empathy challenge would have had the same effect. Like, do you need to be close friends with him to stop that? All right, hold on. What is it? Is the increased reward for this just the +1 reasoning? It is. What do you think? Do we want to keep pushing this? We're not that far off of a persuasion perk. That might be a cool new skill to work. And then once we've got that, we'll probably be pretty close to maxing out creativity, so we may as well. Right? But we could do creativity and engineering at the same time with the robot lab. Maybe. I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep working on study humanities for the moment. This month, you're learning about how people on Earth didn't used to have nanoprinters. Didn't we see this text already? Everything that you had to be mined from the ground or came from animals. I feel like we saw this. I guess it's just we're auditing a class we already seen, right? Okay, let's just blow it out then. Not that we actually get all that much value here. Yeah, wow. I guess I just go like 3, 4, 5 for the little straight and then take these. Gosh, that straight bonus is awfully nice. Pets are good. The Vriki in particular is really, really good. So 2 persuasion per month. All right, let's sneak out into the glow. And also make sure that we are investigating everyone, because apparently it's really important that you don't miss the opportunity to talk to somebody if they have a word bubble. It can be a very serious thing. It's like an entirely different planet in Glow, Dis says, smiling softly out into the illuminated wilderness. It's my favorite season, full of secrets and danger. We don't need to give you a gift. And the other people, the people who we do still need to give gifts to, tend not to be out during this season. All right, yeah, let's sneak out and see what's what. Glow is no time for exploring, or is it? Or is it, in fact, exactly that? Nope, nope, nope. Keep exploring. So do we want to hit... I'm not going to hit every node right now. Let's grab all the collectibles and do any nodes that are visually special, like yellow ones, or the final one. And then we can decide whether we want to do the others too. I love all of these crystals. Yeah, that's as far over there as we can go. All right, well, we got Sim with a... Oh, well, now that's interesting. Sim, what's up? Shadows upon shadows move against each other in Glow, wavering under the gloaming of the mush trees like ghosts. The forest is as still as a creature breathing its last breath. You know to look for Sim in the hollows of the trees now. His eyes gleam in the permanent night. Hello again, Sugarbug, he chuckles. You're getting pretty good at navigating in the dark. Sim sets off through the darkened forest with ease, bidding you to follow. Have you come to ask me more questions? Is Noctilucent the one attacking us? Sim smiles and looks off into the distance. Ah, so you've met. My condolences. Their views are difficult to hold within myself, though I understand them implicitly. Noctilucent is responsible for invasive species management, Sim adds. So, yes, repelling you falls under their domain. The most obvious method, as you've noticed, is the yearly attacks, though there are other more subtle methods to discourage growth. Plague and famine, for example. It didn't need to be this way, he sighs. Sim stops walking and smiles politely. Well, that is enough for now. Okay, yeah, it's just we had earned one extra question because we had met Noctilucent since last time. Well, let's try this. Your explorations lead you steadily upward until you find yourself on a plateau overlooking the valley. The colony is a dark little smudge below, a break in the magnificent natural luminescence of glow. From up here, the wormhole feels so close you could touch it. You're not alone up here. Your heart leaps into your throat as you spot it, silhouetted dark on dark under the eerie light of the wormhole. I forgot. I was thinking while I was talking to Sim, I was thinking before we engage with the next event, I should remember to put my brain trainer back on, because who knows what kind of stat challenges there might be. And I didn't remember to do it, and it looks like it didn't end up mattering, but I should have done it. So yeah, a faceless. Let's just stay and watch them. We've never seen one when they weren't actively attacking the city, or the camp. Atop this high plateau ringed by gnarlwood trees, the massive creature stands staring at the sky. As you watch, mesmerized, some of its swaying tentacles open up, and a glowing dust oozes from them, rising like smoke into the night. And then it's gone? The whole entire faceless just vanished in the blink of an eye. Or did you imagine it? You rub your face, easing the sudden tension that has sprung up behind your eyeballs. Well, this might be unwise, but you know I have to approach where it was standing. There are footsteps here. Giant footsteps. Each ringed with mushrooms pushed up from the moist soil by the weight of the beast. You gingerly realize you're standing in the middle of one. The faceless, if indeed one was standing here earlier, could crush you as flat as the grass beneath your feet. You find other signs of it. Trees have been knocked down in a circular pattern here, and the bushes and grasses have been pushed up into one big mound, leaving the rest of the plateau clear. You remember this place now, from your visions, from under the pyramid and the resting ridges, from long before that. You feel as if you've always known. Something important will happen here soon. Like waitable soon? Let's find out. You stare up at the wormhole, immense in the sky above, just as you remember doing in your vision. You wait, and apparently you are only going to gain like the tiniest amount of stress. Alright. Wait. Yeah, okay, so like they nickel and dime you with stress unless you have a hop eye, in which case you just don't have to worry about it. You continue waiting. You yawn and check your hollow palm. It's hard to keep track of time during glow, but it's definitely getting late. You look around, but nothing has changed. The trees are perfectly still, and so we wait. And so we wait. The wormhole seems especially huge right now. Is it always so big? You imagine you can see whole galaxies in its slowly spinning arms, tiny flecks of rainbow light being sucked into the black hole in the center. But it's so much closer than a galaxy, so close it could swallow you and all of Vertumna in its hungry ethereal maw. And then we wait. And wait. And wait. How many times have I not taken 2 stress now? The forest seems to get quieter, as if it's expecting something. The wormhole swells as you stare and stare into its depths. It's been hours. It's now well past the middle of the night. You're exhausted, but you can't look away. You feel hypnotized. Hypnotized into waiting. You've always been waiting. You will always be waiting, staring up at the wormhole, being sucked into its depths. A shadow falls over you, and I look at the shadow. You slowly lower your gaze from where you've been staring at the wormhole for hours, your neck stiff and sore. Straight ahead of you, what you'd earlier thought was just the shadow of a tree, is the faceless. It was there all along, watching you. It takes a heavy step forward, and then another. It moves gently, its feet sinking into the soft ground and pushing up phosphorescent fungi from below to explode to the surface in rings of jubilant light. You don't move as it approaches. It took all your energy to look away from the wormhole, but you're still completely spellbound. The faceless looms over you, as big as a building. Its zippered neck gapes grotesquely, and its tentacles wave gently through the air, tasting it, feeling it, smelling it. Smelling you. The ends of 2 tentacles open, and that strange glowing mist floats up from them. It leans down. It envelops you in its tentacles, each as large as you are, and you breathe in its spores. Under the eternal night sky of glow, the wormhole seems to swallow you both whole, and the entire planet and an infinite number of universes besides. You feel a beckoning within you, a curious tug somewhere in your rib cage, a yearning you can't describe. Okay. So right now, what's going through my mind is that generally I make a save at the end of each episode. This is not a game that just like maintains a single save file for you and autosaves. Like, you have traditional saves, you're allowed to. But I'm recording this episode immediately after I recorded the next one, or the last one, like 5 minutes after. And I am thinking, I don't think I did save at the end of the last episode. So if I get us killed here, if I accept an ending, whatever that may mean, I don't know that it will be entirely trivial to reconstruct the position. But I mean, the ends of 2 tentacles open, that strange glowing mist floats up from them. I mean, I have to press it, right? Like, I have to know. Absolutely embrace it. Embrace the weird feeling. See, the thing is, like, there are relationships that I was fostering back home, but I guess we've done that. Like, the one piece of unfinished business that I definitely feel we have still is fucking Lum, right? Is we never figured out a way to deal with Lum. And I don't know that things are going to go any better on that front without me around. But I have to press this. I can just reload from the previous episode save and get us back. Yeah, it's fine. Let's see what happens. You feel a beckoning within you, a curious tug somewhere in your ribcage, a yearning you can't describe. And you embrace it. So this is how it all began. Is it? Huh. Transcended time. You know. Lyrics. I'm just gonna sit and listen for a second. When you were very young, you had vivid dreams of things you'd never experienced. Dirt under your feet, skies overhead, endless jungles and strange animals. And now you know why. This moment of time, you on the plateau, drawing in the wild faceless's mind-altering spores and the pulsing wormhole above. This moment cascades backwards and forwards through all time and space, through all of your lives. It's what binds you to those other lives and gives you glimpses of them in dreams. This moment. Does everybody end up here? Yes, thank you, game. I remember how it works. I'm thinking right now. Because, this is the explanation for a plot thread that has been present the whole time, right? So it would seem like you are intended to encounter this. I don't know. I guess I thought I was a little bit sort of, off on a side path here with all the exploration we've been doing. But I guess by this point, everybody has been out on expeditions by this point, no matter how they built their character, right? Because you're introduced to the ability to do them even without sneaking out when you're 13 or whatever. So you've had plenty of years to adjust to it. Probably everybody gets to see this. Probably. Anyway, this moment, it's infinite. You are, in this moment, connected to all your other moments. What has been and what will be, what could be or will never be. Some scraps slip through the web and touch all the other you out there. You, all the you that have been or could be, are forever changed. Huh. To your friends in the colony, it may appear that you've fallen into a coma from which you'll never wake. But your consciousness is free in that infinite moment to visit all lives and possibilities at once. You have transcended. In the moment of your death, as your brain cells fizzle out one by one and shut down forever, a vision swims in your mind's eye. Is that a person? They seem so familiar. You feel like you know them so well. Oh, it's you. Only ancient. Her arms are covered with so many data bands. So many lifetimes of knowledge. The ancient you speaks without moving her mouth. Not in words, but in something like pictures. Still, you understand. She smiles. We had a good life, don't you think? But there are so many possibilities, and this was only one of them. Well, I tried, what the hell. I think I am actually going to say that. There was a girl. We were young together. Tammy with the cotton candy hair. Such a shame to see a life snuffed out so young. She gives you a look, as if to say you were somehow responsible for this. Wait, were you? Could you have saved her? We have a chance to take another path, to change the way our life turned out. She reaches out a hand. Come with me. Okay, I only have the one button, so I guess I will. How many endings? It feels like, especially with Tammy, the Tammy thing, it feels like you must be intended to, this must be the ending. Not the end. I'm sure there's a bunch of endings, but you know what I mean? This has got to be I'm very curious what other people's paths through the game have been. I'm definitely going to watch some other Let's Plays of this, but also, please, if you have played it yourself, go ahead and leave in the comments. I would love to hear sort of how you got to an ending, and in particular, how similar your playthrough was overall to this one. So if I hit endings gallery here, this is the number of endings. That's okay. Really? Do we get the whole thing, or is it just, okay, it's just a picture. It's not the accompanying text. Out of curiosity, what else is... Okay, so we've seen most of the game's backgrounds. Not all of them, though. How many cards are there? More. A lot more. Oh, well, this is just like artifacts and stuff that we didn't buy. And then, yeah, there's lots and lots and lots and lots of cards. We've seen a fair percentage of the blue and red ones, but honestly, less than I would have guessed. Less than I would have assumed. Also, achievements. Hooray. This is us. We did it. The paradox. Okay, well. Also, yes, like the splash images. I guess let's press the start your new life button. I was a teenage exocolonist. Hey, look, it's all of our friends. Actually, it is just like our closest friends. So, okay, we have right, wet 118. Is that? No, that's the end of that's the end of the last episode. 21 was the previous episode. You can see here my incredible naming system here. I am kind of curious. We can, now that I know that we have a functional save, we can go back there and like see how the timeline plays out if we never, if we don't take a hit of the faceless juice. But I'm kind of curious what happens if you press the start your new life button right now. Does the intro make reference to the fact that you, I guess it sort of did before, right? It sort of made reference to the fact that you have memories. Wake up again, you know, that's new text. Content warnings and stuff. You know, you already played the game partway, so. Yeah, you wake to chaos, a confusion of heat and light and smoke. All this fire. Your head is pounding. You must have hit it and blacked out. But yeah, so we never even got to this scene in the actual game. You aren't sure how you got here or what on Vertumna is happening. There's something important you need to remember. Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet and collapses. And hey, look, it's Nem. But we still can't remember her name. I was kind of expecting some of this text to be a little bit more filled in. Now that we in theory know things. But I guess it's not really like continuing a new life out of the old save file, right? I'm going to try shouting what's going on this time just because we didn't do that last time. You try to speak, but the words come out jumbled. Your throat seizes around a lungful of choking smoke. You feel dizzy and confused. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble, and then, yeah, this is going to be the dog, right? Hey, look, it's glow season out there. We don't know this critter. I don't think I've seen this critter in the game proper. You know, like a lot of things on Vertumna are kind of a bummer. So I was kind of wondering if there were going to be like big obvious differences right away. It seems like the answer to that question is no. We'll go ahead and run through the character creation system here and then probably just end the episode. And at the beginning of next episode, we'll be back at that. I just won't breathe in the smoke, and we'll, you know, play the rest of that character's life as much as we can. My parents run the hydroponic gardens. One way thing. Yep. Name. Something else. Also salad. There we go. We're gonna keep this stuff the same. Your earliest memories are of your 4th birthday. There's a big cake with a neat hollow effect that looks like fire, but when you reach out to touch it, all you get is a handful of icing. Yummy. Your favorite present is... Oh, okay. Did we start with an item last time? We didn't, right? This is new. So you get a little bit of a push. That's cool. I think if we were going to play a new character, I'd want to be like Persuasion. I'd want to be yellow focus, just because that's the thing we're the worst at, and see how it changes things. So the doll, like the doll or the hat. Empathy is the thing we never really developed. So actually, yeah, Captain Unicott's old hat. The captain runs the whole entire ship. She's very big and very, very old. The ship, not maybe both the ship and Unicott, I guess. Yeah, she doesn't usually have time to talk with kids. No, this is describing Unicott. It's weird to describe her as very big. She doesn't seem very big in her graphic, but all right. Yep, vivid dreams, dream about strangers who feel so familiar. Space is bigger than the stratospheric. Dad tells you a bedtime story. You often ask for Tales of Earth, the place you've only seen in holovids. But your dad doesn't want to talk about it. How about we save that for another time, he'll say. Or maybe when you're older. He prefers made-up stories. Your favorite is... Is this a choice we had last time? I don't think I remember. Okay, so there are going to be options that exist on things from a past life. And I think we are thinking about that shoot, I can't look at the hat. It gave +1 to something, but I don't remember what. Superhero Justice Warriors, first card getting -1, last card getting +1 definitely helps you get your straights, which is cool. And if the hat gives a bonus to straights, this is a pretty sensible thing to pick. But also, you know, what if I just had Dream People? And you're starting with cards that have gems on them and stuff. Like, you're definitely starting with a bonus the second time through, it feels like. You've always been weird that way. You beg him to tell you stories about aliens called the Gardeners, and insist they're real people you've met. Or will meet. Or something. They're from your dreams, but it seems so real. It's more like remembering. It's hard to explain. Your family doesn't understand, but your dad is happy to play make-believe. Together, you make up new adventures for the Gardeners every night. Okay, so these are the same. So Calm Temperate helps you control your stress levels, whereas Extra Fingers is just going to get you extra skill points. I think I want to take that, though. Like, maybe that's a little bit boring because it's basically just the yellow version of Eagle Eyes, but like, more skill points is more good, right? It's not rocket surgery. Alright, +10 creativity for all them fingers. This is how much creativity it takes to design a glove that you can wear. You've heard long ago having a 6th finger would have been something you'd hide or even remove. We saw this text when we got our enhancement. And I think what I would do here is like probably go with Mars. Try to be friends with Mars. We never got to hang out with Tammy much. And it sounds like we might be able to save her this way. We're going to have different options. So I like that these are all cards you can get later anyway, though. These are just like the basics of being friendly. I kind of want to be like best buds with Mars, though. Part of this is that I don't really know too much about Tammy's personality and how she develops because we don't know her. I'm going to do it, though. I'm going to be best friends with bold and confident Mars, and we are perhaps slightly less bold and slightly less confident, and sort of her lackey, I think, is a very natural direction for that to develop. Mars has always acted like she's the boss, even to the adults. She talks back to Antecedent and ends up in trouble a lot. One day when you're 8, you're all going to the gym to bounce on the bouncy mats, but Mars can't, because she's in timeout again. So we got Persuasion and Organizing. It's interesting that this got +1 from the Extra Fingers perk, considering that it's not a yellow skill. But okay, whatever. Okay, is this kid also a troublemaker? We're probably not actually going to play this kid's life out. I'm just like testing, so I guess we don't need to think about this too hard. No, like this kid is the one who solves problems by talking, right? So we plead on her behalf. You convince Antecedent to let Mars come and play this time. Cool, persuasion and more friendship. Antecedent allows it, but also warns you about how some people will take advantage of you. You're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Yep, this is all known to us. Gather near the escape pods just in case. Single file, everyone. Professor Hal instructs you to follow him. You recalibrate the shields. Right? If you don't recalibrate them, your parents' hydroponic farms will be lost. And we know what the long-term effect of that is and how it's a total bummer. So we just like sneak off. Oh, I don't have a root access code, that's for damn sure. You give Professor Hal the slip, a move you've practiced for this day, because we knew, and rush to the engine wing, past confused adults who try to stop you. You find the nearest congruence terminal. Help me, Congruence. Congruence brushes you off. Almost all of her considerable processing power is going toward making sure the wormhole doesn't destroy the stratospheric, and you don't know how to make her do what you want. You yell and beg for her to help you, but it's no use. The ship enters the wormhole while you're still trying to talk to her. You black out, just like you always do. Oh, that's really interesting. So I wonder if the route there, they showed it to us, right? It is the case. The route there is made up of different pieces that you have to assemble, maybe even from multiple past lives. Like now we know that we need that root access code, and we could like lean harder on like computer engineering and stuff, try to figure out how to get from congruence what we need in that moment so that we can go back and try again. That's really cool. I didn't realize that I was enjoying this a lot, and it did not feel like an incomplete product or like a thing that was missing anything, even without that like multiplay, alter the past, alter the present kind of system. But that's really cool that works that way. This game is rad. All right, gradually your consciousness reforms. You wake up in the med bay, cranial injury, etc. We're just gonna push real fast here because I want to see about saving Tammy. People are walking around on the ground. You better get out there and join them. I think we're maybe a little bit more cautious with this character. But if I was really intending to play this character in the long term, I wouldn't have named them also Salin. So, hat. Oh, Tammy jumps as you step out. Yeah, you better go see your dad. Okay, I will absolutely do that. Let me look at my hat again. +1 bonus to straights. Okay, so it would have been a good idea to take that other card. Whatever, it's fine. Adding to your deck as you age. Forget cards by relaxing. We also now have a better sense of which perks are worth going for earlier, which is definitely interesting. I do want to keep the traits window up, please. Yeah, we have a much better sense of the function of a lot of stuff early on. Hey, Dad. Looks supernatural. Aw, you love your dad. This character is open about their love for their parents. Yep, it's creepy. What's outside the walls? Don't worry about that, my dear aubergine. Also, it's my birthday. Open the package, tell him I know what's in it. Yeah, I know what's in it. He knows, he loves the... Oh, that's right. He doesn't attribute this to your weird future telling. He attributes it to somebody having spoiled the surprise for you. Which is weird, because like he knows about the future telling. Okay. Love you too, Dad. 13 months a year, 10 years to the end of the game. You'll only have time to focus on a few things. That's not exactly true. There's nothing to be afraid of. Why do we need walls? You stare at the gate and have a sudden rush of memories so strong you think you might faint. Something enormous and dark and wriggly. Yep, half-remembered nightmares of monsters, of the ship being destroyed. Dad always told you the monsters weren't real. You think there are monsters out there, and I know that you're correct about that. No, they're huge and wriggly and dangerous. I saw them. Yep, making fun of you. Yep. I remember that interaction now. Hey, Num. It's true, it is different from the snow on Earth. Have you seen any monsters? Just some bugs. Even if there were monsters, Chief Rhett would beat them up. Childlike. You remember what it's like to be a child, to have this level of confidence in the adults in your life? Why aren't you in school? Okay, she doesn't look worried about being late to school, because Nem. Gosh. Remember, things were so much simpler. So can I go to the creche and inspect the thing? No, I can't. Okay, I guess let's just we had to go to class. We can study the life sciences or the humanities. We're doing the humanities. If anybody's interested in taking engineering classes, register through the thing. Like I said, we're going to blaze through this real fast. What the Vertumna colony means to you. My friends are all here. We're very people-focused on this character. You write about all your buds and the fun things you do together. When Hal wakes from his nap, he asks a few students to read their essays to the class. Mars likes yours because you mention her in it. We didn't really get to know Hal very well in the last playthrough. I think that will be a fun thing to do here. This is a little awkward. I guess. Sorry, like this. Like this, as though I were good at the game. Hooray! Alright. All of that creativity and persuasion. This stuff's not new. Sorry we haven't seen much of you. Yeah, we've been gardening. How have you been holding up? This has all happened before. You know, at this point in the game, the -1 is not all that bad, and the wild card is interesting, but I'm not going to take that. That's just a card we're going to want to burn out of our deck later, right? Although, actually, the -1 would, at this point, be kind of helpful for building longer straights. We're proud of you no matter what you do. Try talking to your friends. Also, try shoveling some dirt. You lazy little, you know, a nice thing that a parent might call you. Look out! A ball is flying toward you. Yeah, less sports this time. You want me to show you how to do it? No, I don't like sports ball, actually. What? She exclaims, looking shocked. No way, there's nothing funner. How can you not like fun? Okay. You can play goalie, it's easy, but balls will fly at your head a lot. Okay. I'd hate to deprive Cal of a position on the team, is the thing. Is any of this text critically important? Hanging out with my friends. Yep. Go find your friends, learn how to do things. He loves that Vertumna has seasons. We know a lot of this stuff. Yeah, you're just telling me about jobs. Okay, I'm good. Thank you. I don't remember which text actually unlocks things. Yes, I would love to go get a thing. Okay. Go get sweets from Tammy. Get the sweets. Bring the sweets back. She's bossy, but she cares. It's true. At least, I hope it's true. I want half. Sharing is caring. Is this about sharing? So we can do that because of persuasion. We can do this because of even more persuasion. Is that a better card? I mean, the other one has a gem on it. It also has that little bit of straight engineering. I think I actually want this. I want half. The audacity. She eventually relents with a small smile. You did fetch them and all. You split the box of soy sweets and sit to eat some with her. They're great. Yeah, Tammy's a good baker, Mars sighs. But I wish she wasn't so scared of everything here. Sure, the weather's gross, but it's not dangerous. Administrator Seek's looking for someone to do delivery jobs. You unlock the delivery job thing really early, right? But you need toughness and organizing. So it's a good way to get toughness without having to play sports ball, if your character is not a sports ball type person. Back on the ship, we used to play with her, right? We were friendly. Was I her study partner? Yeah, let's make a slightly closer relationship. Tammy was awful, just awful at Earth history. She thought Europe was the name of an English queen, and the Pacific was a famous ceasefire treaty. Facts go in one of her huge ears and back out the other. No matter how hard you tried, she just never seemed to improve. Her ears perk up helpfully when she sees you. You need help with your homework. Of course. Of course. Absolutely. -1 reasoning. You spend a couple hours trying to teach her the difference between exothermic and endothermic reactions. One makes heat, one absorbs it. Why is this so hard for her to understand? The thing is, Tammy never loses heart when she fails a test or gets an answer wrong. It's inspiring, even though sometimes you feel like you get dumber after studying with her. That's harsh, but I suppose it is an explanation for the thing. So once again, do we have... No, we have no interesting options in the lounge. Well, I guess study humanities again. You need 5 whole reasoning for this other thing. Movies used to be 2D. Did you know? Pre-holographic media. That's pretty good. We don't really get a straight here, sadly. Gosh, the hands are so easy at the beginning of the game. You really don't even have to think about them. We're already almost as good at creativity and persuasion as the previous character. Yep, deja vu. That's right, the deja vu was like way harsher when we were young before. Dreams are mixed up with stuff you know can't be real. Here's a sort of a grown-up Tammy. You've lived this life before. In your dreams, you're sure of it. Interesting. Secret powers are fun. Listen, I don't want people to worry. Your parents have so much on their minds already. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a thing at geoponics that they don't want us to know, although we do already know, thanks to magic powers. Hey, look, it's a little tangent. There should be a catalog on the colony. Yeah, I'll help you find the catalog. You launch your own holopalm and start searching the colony's holonet archives. We're just like getting along with people. Anemone wants us to play sports ball. Tangent wants us to spend time doing research. Neither one of these things is particularly suited to this character. Also, we got to meet baby Cal. Look at little tiny Cal. He's still actually quite large. Yep, I do not attempt to try the skate. I just watch. I'm just a watcher. That's fine. A lot less physical. This is a really easy way of differentiating. So we need to get to that first like colony meeting. Okay, the formation of the Vertumna group. We had this lesson very recently. That is one long ass name. It's just the thing I think to myself as we're learning. All right, so just, man, I feel like maybe we didn't get this whole lesson. I thought we had a lesson about the Vertumna group, but I don't remember it having all of this text in it. Listen, we're gonna get some of this. We're gonna probably do another playthrough now that I know how this system works, because I'm very curious. So we'll read all of this stuff in detail when we do it. When we do that next thing. For now, let's just blaze through. Yeah, okay. Let's just blaze through until we get the thing we're looking for here. I don't know. Also, here's a blue one. Yeah, it definitely feels like this character is going to end up in a very different place skills-wise. Okay, so it's about time for our first rest. We can go one more. Found our first random object on the ground. Neat. Once again, just checking. Do I have an option to mess with the stuff in the creche? I do not. So instead, back to school with us. It feels like it would be very difficult to not prioritize it would be very difficult to not prioritize going out and collecting objects as quickly as possible, especially given how plentiful mushwood logs are and how extremely good they are. You wake from an afternoon nap. Okay. The dream you're in is one you've had many times. The air is strangely pink and fluffy, kind of sticky, and you have to push your way through it. It feels like every step takes an eternity. You push through the pink cloud and emerge into the children's creche, a room you know well, to see your friend Tammy standing before an enormous bear made of pure light. It lunges at her, through her, and she collapses to the ground like a fainting fairy tale princess. You wake with your heart racing. Tammy's leaning over you where you've been sleeping in a nest of pillows. She shakes your shoulder gently. I think you're having a nightmare. Are you okay? Are you? Nothing bad happened to the dream, but you feel sick with dread. Antecedent is making cotton candy. I have to tidy the creche first. I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay? Whoa, no. Fuck my dreams. Go get that candy. No, go save Tammy. You sprint down the hall to the children's creche, where the little kids play and learn during the day. It's empty. All the younger kids are probably off eating candy with Antecedent. You spot Tammy tidying up some drawing supplies near the craft bins. Above her, a holo projector displays an enormous floating teddy bear made of purple light. It bobs silently in the air. Mr. Bearsworth. A decade of happy memories playing with it flash through your mind in an instant. So I gave it a sort of a menacing, because we know it's going to murder Tammy, but it does strike me that perhaps that's not what they were going for. Tammy stands up on her toes and reaches for the switch to turn it off, and you slam into her, knocking her off her feet onto the ground. At the same moment, the holoprojector sparks and explodes. The bear disappears, and the whole room goes dark. Sorry? She looks very upset. Yep, Tammy's eyes wide with surprise and fear. I am not going to shout, I just saved your life. This version of the character, absolutely the kind of person who apologizes for saving your life in a way that might have given you a bruise. Why did you do that? Secret powers, right? We don't want people to worry about whatever's going wrong with us neurologically. It was an accident. I tripped. I'm clumsy. And then she's immediately worried about whether we're okay, because she's a sweetheart. You decide not to mention the dream since she seems weirded out already, but I wonder if we had pursued the other line in that conversation, if we could share it with her. A thing worth pursuing, perhaps. So Projector's dead, Professor Hal can fix it, and yeah, then you got Tammy. You got another yellow 4. It feels like this deck comes together really quickly. By the time you find the professor and finish cleaning up, you've forgotten all about the pink candy in the cafeteria. We don't get our cotton candy memories. And then you just have an extra character in the camp for the entire fucking game. Yeah, okay. All right. That's where we're going to call it for today. I am very intrigued by these new revelations. What we're going to do is, when we start the next episode, we're going to be back in the other character, the 18-year-old character's life. We will go out during Glow, but we will simply not fully partake. We will not inhale when the Faceless tries to smoke us out. And then we'll play through to the more natural end of the game in that character's life. Very curious about where everything goes, especially the very obviously growing schism between the groups of colonists and whatnot. And then after we finish that, I think we will try one more playthrough. We'll probably zoom through a lot of the text, but I'm very curious to play this yellow skills character, to actually get to meet and grow up with Tammy, to see what we can do with the information that we have. Knowing everything that's going to happen in advance, it's got to be a pretty big advantage. Although I will say, I feel like I got pretty lucky. We sort of found our way through every major problem already, Like, it seems a lot of that seems like the kind of thing you would do on the second playthrough. It's like, but this time I know about the shimmer and like what it's going to do to everybody. I don't know. Maybe there's not actually that much different for us to do on a second playthrough. I guess I'll think about it. When you come back next time, though, the further adventures of Was the Teenage Exocolonist. And we'll see you then.